Hey, folks, welcome back to another Command Breakdown. I'm your host, Christian McCullum. We have a special guest tonight, Cornwall Central head coach Kevin Arduino from New Windsor, New York. Coach, thanks a lot for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I'm fired up to be here and chat with you on this guy.
Yeah. So UMass obviously had a big official visit weekend last weekend in January and came out with 4 commitments to kind of solidify what they've been doing through the transfer portal with the 2025 recruiting class. One of the guys they got was 2025 Maryland receiver Elijah Pedro. Coach, we're going to check out some clips, but just in general, what are your overall general impressions about this kid?
I think he's electric, man. I think when the ball's in his hands, he's dynamic in what he can do. You see on some of the clips, they got him returning kicks and punts, and it makes perfect sense why once you start watching the tape. And I mean, he's a guy who can take the top off, but he's also, he'll catch a tunnel screen and scurry for 50, 60 yards. So he's exciting. He's exciting to watch, and a guy that I think it's the big get for UMass.
Yeah, 6'1", 180 pounds from Wise High School. Had some big time offers early in the recruiting process. Sometimes these guys early in the recruiting process, not all those offers are committable, but like you said, he's a big time get for UMass. Let's check out some of the clips.
Yeah, so this first clip, man, this is the first clip on his tape, and I thought it stuck out right away. It's a great. He knows how to make a highlight tape for sure. If you start in the beginning, you watch the release. For me, it's that left shoulder that he drives back into the defensive back to kind of get back onto his stem. Obviously, he gets the clean release, but then it's that shoulder. Him, being in high school and having that ability to dip that left shoulder and get back in and get back onto his stem, and then obviously at the top of the play, ball's in the air, and then he's going to be an athlete. He's going up, high pointing the ball and coming down through contact for 6 points. So great rep. Obviously, you anytime you get 6 points on the board, it's great, but it's the little things, man, that sharp release. DB doesn't get too much on him, and he's playing press man, with really no help, only in the middle of the field. But I was impressed by that shoulder, dipping back, getting back on his stem, and then obviously the finish at the end is probably the most impressive thing. Something that not everyone can do, but this stood out to me, and I thought it was a great placement for this on his highlight tape as that first clip.
Yeah, he's got that "you got mossed" finish on it, but like you said at the beginning, so take us through, what is the corner? He beats the corner right in the first 3 steps. What's the corner trying to do, and what's he trying to do with that shoulder you're talking about?
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like they're in man free. That corner's press. His job is to route, jam Elijah at the line of scrimmage, not let him obviously get past him, because he's on an island with him. And Elijah does a really good job avoiding that contact. You see that left arm. He uses that left arm to not allow the corner to get his hands on. And then that shoulder, he dips it and leans and uses his speed now to get on top. Anytime you leave, if a corner can't get a jam on a receiver as fast as Elijah is, you're gonna have trouble, especially with no help. Your only help being in the middle of the field.
Yeah, so he's got to get inside him there and then work back outside to get to where he's got to go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's check out the next clip.
Yeah, so this one stood out to me. You'll see on his highlight tape a bunch of him returning kicks and punts. This one stood out to me because of the sheer speed that you can see. I think you watch some of the angles that some of these guys on this punt team have, and like Elijah beats all of them. He goes after the ball, bobs it there in the beginning, picks it up, kind of weaves a little bit, and then it's just a foot race. And I thought his speed on this play was what I saw, what stood out to me the most. Dangerous weapon. Having this ability, this versatility, is definitely a weapon that UMass hopefully is going to get to use for a while.
Coach, I know you guys had a great season at Cornwall Central. I don't know how much attention you paid to special teams. I'm guessing a lot. I don't know if you guys – I don't know what happened to your long snapper last year, if you need a new one. But if you need a new one, I could probably look up the purple team here and see if this guy is someone that might be able to go on your team, because this is quite the hell of a long snap there.
Yeah, this should be blocked. When I thought, the first time I watched it, I was like, is he blocking this punt? And then, it obviously it all goes by. I know if I was a coach of that purple team, I'd be holding my breath. Because this should be blocked twice. It may have been better off if it got blocked than kicking the ball to Elijah.
Yeah, good point. All right, we got another one.
All right, so this one I thought was great, because he's kind of in the beginning of the route. You see he's kind of covered up. He runs this little, it looks like a little sit route. They're in like a little spacing concept. And what I like to see him do is he's finding space. He's finding that open ground. He's finding grass or turf or whatever it may be, and he's looking to get open. And then the best part about this whole thing is that body control at the end. This ball's thrown over his head. He's in the back of the end zone. He's able to go up, keep his feet inbounds, take a contact from a defensive back, and finish the play. That body control, you see on Saturdays, in the college football playoff, and you see on Sundays. That's special to be able to make that. That is a difficult catch. That is an extremely difficult catch. Yeah, to keep the feet inbounds and falling backwards, getting hit. That impressed me a lot. But I love the fact that he's kind of covered up there. It's a little congested, and then he's working to find space. Finding the window, getting in the quarterback's line of sight, and then at the end of it, finishing the play.
Yeah, and the getting open isn't always being the fastest guy or the most agile guy, is it? It's a feel, it's a sense, and he could probably dart to the corner here, but that's going to make it a tougher throw, tougher catch. He's open. It feels he's open, and he's like, I don't got to go anywhere to be open. Maybe I'm going to back up a little bit, but that's it. I mean, that just gives you more. He's more than just an athlete, a big, strong, fast athlete, right?
Yeah, and it's great. You get zoned off. They kind of zone off there, and he's able to find that space. I kind of compare it to the basketball terms when teams are playing zone defense and you're able to find those little gaps, to get a pass and get a layup. It's very similar. We run some spacing concepts and teach it that way too. Where look, don't just stay covered. Go find the open window. All right, get into the quarterback's eyes and get the ball. That's what we want. So impressive here, impressive all around from really the start to the finish.
I think this kind of idea is something that Kelsey and Mahomes have kind of perfected, right? When he can kind of be open, he might reverse field and go the opposite way. They're just kind of on the same page.
Yeah, no doubt. All
right, we got one more clip here.
So I like this one because it's something, it's not a vertical, it's not a post on the top, but they got a little concept here. It's like they're running like a vertical with a flat route by number 3, and then Elijah coming on kind of like a little squaring bang post type thing on the inside. And what I really liked about this was a few things. He kind of settles. He kind of settles in that window. Kind of what we were talking about with the last one, with being able to read what's going on defensively and being able to see, kind of feel for the defense in front of him. And you can see he kind of gears down and settles in that window. He sees the linebacker coming out with the H back there, and he just kind of settles just so he gives that quarterback that window so he can get him the ball. And that to me was pretty impressive. That's a feel, right? That's a feel thing that you get through reps and through, timing. And I think it's impressive that he has that at that age. And then, he does what he usually does, makes, 2 or 3 guys miss before he ends up getting tackled there. That's just, all that extra stuff that makes him even more special. But the thing that I think, that little gear down, you can just see it to to me is really impressive and kind of puts him at a different level. That's what you want your receivers doing, understanding the concept, understanding the whole picture, and understanding that this quarterback's, he's got it right there, just kind of gears, catches the ball, gets vertical, makes a couple people miss, right? And he's one tackle away from housing that thing.
Yeah, because when you're running this on air, right, he's probably running this on air and it's catch and go and he's scoring, right? And so he's probably lined up here thinking, I'm about to do what I did every time I'm on air, so I want to keep going. But nah, you're right. He settles right there. And I don't want to read too much into it, but it seems like a kind of a unselfish play, right? So he's not thinking touchdown. He's thinking what's best, and I've got to, settle down and kind of throttle down a little bit to stay in that window. Like I said, I don't want to read too much into it, but it definitely seems like the kind of guy who's, not greedy, so to say.
Yeah, 100%. He understands, like, hey, I have a better chance if I can kind of just settle here for a second, give the quarterback a second in that window, because if he gets there too fast, now he's working into that next backer who's starting to drop a little bit there by the logo, or the safety across the field. If he gets there too fast or on a bad angle, then now someone else gets involved. So yeah, I think it's reps, it's understanding coverage, is understanding the defense, understanding their concept. I think he sees number 2 there, that linebacker slide now, and he knows, all right, there's my window. I gotta, I'm gonna gear down right here, catch this thing, and then get vertical.
Coach, we really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, for joining us. We hope to have you back to do some more wide receiver breakdowns. But, obviously, as you said, Elijah Pedro here, a big-time get for UMass as we come up here on signing day. So, things keep rolling for UMass at this point under Coach Joe Simiak. So, Coach, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to watch Elijah play, man. I'm excited, and hopefully be back with you guys soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.